This is Amy Rose, and you're tuning in to Mr. Media. This is Amy Rose, and you're tuning in to Mr. Media. Don't grab the dial, don't change your tune. He's the coolest guy since. I don't have an ending for that.
Yesterday afternoon.
Since yesterday afternoon.
Today on Mr. Media, I'll talk to Josey Milner, a young lady who puts a little Kansas City in every one of her country songs. Stick around. This ain't her first rodeo, folks. Today's episode of Mr. Media Interviews is brought to you by GoDaddy.com. You know GoDaddy.com from their wild and sexy commercials, but isn't it time you actually test drove their web hosting and domain registration services yourself? For a limited time, Mr. Media listeners can save 10% on the already low price of web hosting services at GoDaddy.com by entering the promo code POD4 at checkout. Again, that's 10% off web hosting when you go to GoDaddy.com and enter the promo code POD4, that's P-O-D, the number 4, at checkout. Mr. Media is recorded live before a studio audience of Kansas City barbecue queens who know exactly what good tastes like in the new media capital of the world, St. Petersburg, Florida. No matter what you look like, it's not out of the realm of possible that at some point in life you were made to feel you were not attractive enough for a guy, a girl, a job, or even a Skype video interview. Still, it's hard to believe anybody ever looked at Josey Milner and said out loud that she wasn't pretty enough for anything. And yet, that's the title of her new country single, Am I Not Pretty Enough? That's the thing about great songs and other forms of literature, of course. They make us face something personal, something that can sting, but something that hopefully, eventually, we rise above. Tonight, I'm pleased to welcome this young, up-and-coming singer to our show. And two things you should know about Josey. One, she's from the tribal land of Kansas City. And two, she's a former rodeo queen. Must admit, I've never interviewed a rodeo queen before. Okay, so all that, and she's going to honor us with a couple of songs, too. Josey Milner, welcome to Mr. Media.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. So, right off the top, a rodeo queen.
Yeah. I did a rodeo for 8 years, and all throughout rodeo, I was always doing rodeo pageants, and I got quite a few titles to my name whenever I did it. I held 2 state titles, Junior Miss and Little Miss, and then I also had a couple titles for the rodeo associations that I did.
So for a Jersey boy like myself, who has seen the rodeo on TV but has never been to the rodeo, what exactly does a rodeo queen do?
A rodeo queen just kind of goes around and talks about rodeo and represents rodeo and try to get people interested in it and just keep the sport alive.
Do you trash talk at the rodeo, or do you just talk up the rodeo?
No, you just talk up the rodeo. You want to make it so people want to do it.
Got it. And how did you get involved in that?
Well, my dad actually did rodeo whenever he was younger, and whenever I was born, he was like, yeah, she's going to be a barrel racer, and it turns out I did do barrel racing, and I did pole bending and goat tying and breakaway roping, so I guess you could blame my dad for that one.
Are you an only child?
I'm not. I have an older brother.
So he didn't use all that rodeo stuff up on your brother, or you just felt like you wanted to do it?
Well, actually, my brother did do rodeo for about a year, but then my brother actually got into a band as well, and he kind of gave up rodeo for that. But he's a dad now, and I have a niece and nephew, so.
So it's like a singing cowboy family.
Yeah.
Roy Rogers and Dale Evans and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, so now we all know what a rodeo queen does. I got it. How do you go from being a rodeo queen to singing country?
Well, I grew up listening to country music, and rodeo always has the aspects of country. And so I always loved being in front of people, and even at my rodeos, I would sing the national anthem whenever I got a chance to. And so just from being in front of people at my rodeos, I kind of transformed into being in front of people with my band. So it just kind of transformed into one another.
Got it. So you're always comfortable in front of a crowd?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you, were you trained as a singer, or did you just started singing?
I just kinda started singing. I mean, I've had vocal lessons and whatnot, but I've always just sat down and or listened to the radio and just started singing.
What did you like when you were, well, I mean, you're young now, so what did you like, in your middle teens?
I liked anything I could listen to. Right now, I'm a fan of all genres, but definitely growing up, I was a fan of country because that's what I grew up with, and so that's what I was always listening to, and especially George Strait and Tanya Tucker and Patsy Cline and all them older ones who made country music what it is today.
Now, is country music very predominant? I know you're from Kansas City, but I mean, is it predominant as you grew up, or is there just a certain group of kids who, that was their influence? I mean, could you not have wound up, singing in a rock band or rapping or something else?
Well, I mean, like I said, that's what I grew up with, so that's kind of what my lifestyle was around. But there's definitely several, like, I have several friends who listen to several other genres besides just country. So, I mean, it just kind of depended on how we grew up and what we grew up around.
Okay. And so, modern country, what do you like?
Modern country, I love the Miranda Lambert, Jason Aldean style, the rockish country.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
And outside of country, are there any modern artists that you're fond of?
Well, I kind of like a whole bunch of different artists and a whole bunch of different genres. I'm kind of a fan of dubstep, which is kind of awkward or kind of weird for me, I guess you could say. But then I'm also a fan of, say, Katy Perry and artists like them. I definitely look up to them as well.
Okay. I noticed Taylor Swift's name does not come up.
Well, Taylor Swift's just in a category of her own. I mean, she's country, but then she's pop, and so, hey, she's Taylor Swift.
I was just curious. I mean, it's only a couple of years older than you at most, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right. So, did you go from? And I apologize to you and people watching this. I'm going to be coughing. I can't help it today. Sorry. So, how do you make the jump, though? So you're obviously comfortable, in front of an audience, singing, but deciding to make a career of it—that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, that's just kind of something that just kind of happened. I had the chance to sing at the National Steel Guitar Convention in St. Louis about 2 years ago, and I got to sing in front of a whole bunch of people there, so that was pretty awesome in itself. And I was having people coming up to me afterwards, and at the time I was about 15 years old, and so they're telling me about the talent I had at such a young age. I needed to think about it seriously. So up until that point, I never had really kind of thought about it seriously. So it was really just kind of sprung on me. It just kind of happened.
And any hesitation with your family to have you go out and do something this public?
Definitely not. My parents and my family has always supported my decisions that I do. They know I'm going to make the right decision in the end. They've always supported me with what I want to do.
Have you made any wrong decisions on this path?
No, I have not. I've been very fortunate enough to have people lead me in the right direction. So
It's nice. And you've obviously got people around you helping to, guide your decisions and your careers. And look, somebody guided you to Mr. Media, so it's gotta be working out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this first song you're going to sing, and which is the song I discussed in the introduction. Am I Not Pretty Enough? Did I overstate the case in the introduction? Anything you want to correct about the way I described a little bit of the song or the thinking of the song?
Not a whole lot. That song, it kind of does touch me in a way, because whenever I first started in my band and my music together, kids at school kind of joked around about it, and they didn't take it seriously, and so that in itself was kind of a form of bullying. And so for me to sing the song personally, it definitely touches me, and this song I'm hoping will touch a lot of people as well for stuff that's happened to them, and kind of give them a voice. Hey, this song, it means something to you.
And who wrote the song?
Casey Chambers originally wrote the song. It was a big hit in Australia. So
Okay, all right. And is it a sentiment that you connect to? Then you feel
Yeah, I mean, I definitely connected with the song because of things that I've had to face growing up.
You mentioned the bullying. I understood that's kind of an issue for you to take up.
Yeah, I'm a junior in high school, and so I see that kind of stuff every day. And I'm always one of the kids who stands up and be like, "Hey, stop doing that. That's not right." And I'm kind of the voice for the people who don't necessarily stand up for themselves. And this song is actually going to kind of kick off a bullying campaign for myself. That I'm going to go around and talk to kids at school, and like I said, give them a voice and stand up for them and let them know that things are going to be okay and they'll get through it.
My own daughter is a junior, a high school junior, and this is something
Oh,
that she's felt very strongly about. She's got a cousin who has Down syndrome, and whenever she hears certain words used in a derogatory sense, she always speaks up and always makes an issue of it. So I respect that. I appreciate that. I know it's something that she feels strongly about, and I'm glad to hear someone else in your generation making the case.
yeah.
So, would you like to go ahead and do the song for us?
Let's do it.
All
And
right.
before,
Go ahead, please.
before we start, I have a guitar player right over here next to me. His name's Russ Miller. He's the lead guitar player in my band. So the random music you're hearing is coming from him.
Terrific. It's not coming out of the walls.
No.
All right. So I'm going to mute my microphone while you guys perform. And folks, there's Josey Milner with accompaniment by Russ Miller, and singing "Am I Not Pretty Enough?" It's all yours.
Am I not pretty enough? Is my heart too broken? Do I cry too much? Am I too outspoken? Don't I make you laugh? Should I try it harder? Why do you see right through me? I live, I breathe, I let it rain on me. I sleep, I wake, I try hard not to break. I crave, I love, I've waited long enough. I try as hard as I can. Am I not pretty enough? Is my heart too broken? Do I cry too much? Am I too outspoken? Don't I make you laugh? Should I try it harder? Why do you see right through me? I laugh, I feel, I make believe it's real. I fall, I freeze, I pray down on my knees. I crave, I love, I've waited long enough. I try as hard as I can. Am I not pretty enough? Is my heart too broken? Do I cry too much? Am I too outspoken? Don't I make you laugh? Should I try it harder? Why do you see right through me? Why do you see? Why do you see? Why do you see right through me? Why do you see? Why do you see? Why do you see right through me? Why do you see? Why do you see? Why do you see right through me?
Very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Russ.
Thank you.
See, there's a voice. There's a man there. Now we know for sure. So, tell me about the song selection. Now, I didn't realize this was written by an Australian singer. How do you decide what's appropriate for you at 17 to sing, and what's inappropriate?
Well, this song was actually sent to me by Michael, my manager. He was watching a horror movie, and this song was on there, and he's like, he's listening to the lyrics. He's like, wow, I think Josey could probably do this one really well. So he sent it over to me, and we decided to do that one. But most of the songs are sent to me by songwriters that Michael kind of picks out and picks through and thinks of ones that I'll like and that I'll choose, and he'll send them to me, and I'll listen to them, and that's where the final decision's made.
And have you gotten to that point where you're thinking about, or you're doing any writing yourself? It seems like a natural step.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely very interested in writing, and I'm trying to collaborate with some people to kind of write songs with other people as well, because that's something I'm definitely very interested in, definitely wanting to do.
Have you been looking at structure at this point, or you're just thinking in general terms? How is that?
Right now, it's just kind of in the general terms part of it, because I'm not necessarily sure of what I'm wanting to do with songwriting or what I'm wanting to write about. So
I'm thinking that a song about appearing in Skype video interviews with a with a stranger in a 1,000 miles away. I think that has a certain appeal. Russ, what do you think?
Yeah, could be.
Thank you, Russ. I appreciate that. A guitarist who plays along with an unseen voice. I like that. I like that a lot. How do you? Sorry. How do you maintain relationships while you're while you're playing? I mean, I guess I should ask how much are you out playing and how much are you home and going to school, and what's your life kind of like?
well, I go to school every day, or Monday through Friday, should I say, and then normally on the weekends I play out with the band, and kind of every other free time I have, we'll either spend with family or kind of catch up with friends. But luckily for me, I do get to see friends every day, so that relationship's pretty strong in itself. And holidays are always off limits with music. It's always with family, but weekends are with band, holidays with family, and schools with friends. So it all works out.
And do you ever have to on Monday, have your parents send a note into school? Please excuse Josey. Well, she was out playing at a honky tonk last night, and well,
No.
you know how that is for a 17-year-old.
No, that hasn't happened yet, and I'm hoping it doesn't happen because I'm actually an honor society. I maintain straight A's, and
Oh my
so I
God!
kind of have to be at school to kind of help out with that.
Wow.
So.
And well, so tell me, how does the band sustain itself if you're only playing on the weekends? Do they have, are they working down at the Ace Hardware? What are they doing during the week?
Well, all the guys do have day jobs, but then on rough Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays, just whatever day we can all get together, we have band rehearsal as well. So they kind of have two jobs all in one.
Got it. And so, I mean, for a 17-year-old, you're staying pretty busy.
Yes, yes. Friends are always asking me if I can hang out on the weekends. I'll be like, no, I have a show this weekend. I have to go to that. And they're always kind of like, oh my gosh, you never have time. But hey, it's what I love to do, so it's okay.
Well, can your friends get in to see you perform where you're performing, or are they, they places where you have to be 18 and older, or what?
There are some places where you have to be 18 or older to get in, but there's also been places where, like, I've played at fairs that friends have been able to come watch, and it's always nice to see them out in the crowd. And whenever I'm done, they're always come up to be like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know you were like this." And it's very funny.
That would be kind of a kick to see someone that you go to school with up on stage performing, and
Yeah.
and then an hour later you're talking about hair tips, or I don't know, whatever
Yeah.
it is the 16, 17-year-old girls talk about. I don't know, Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Who, the Hobbit. I don't know what you guys talk about. Am I even close? Probably not.
Well, actually, one of my friends is really interested in the Doctor Who. I'm not a big fan of it, but I stick more to the mysteries, such as Castle and CSI, and
I like Castle. Nathan
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion's been on this show, so you're one step, you're one, right, through me, you're 1 degree closer to Nathan Fillion. Go figure that one out. Yeah. So now the other song that you're going to perform tonight is called "Dead Flowers," and we were kidding before the show about I was going to have you do "Pretty" first and "Dead" last, and I'm not sure where the pun is, but it did seem like there was a bit of a pun there. Who wrote "Dead Flowers"?
Dead Flowers is originally a Miranda Lambert song, and honestly, I'm not even for sure who wrote the song. I wouldn't say that she co-wrote it, but it's originally a Miranda Lambert song.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put the interview on hold until you can go out, check your internet, come back, and let me know. No, never mind. I'm just kidding. just kidding. But it's important to know who wrote these songs. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
you'll take that more seriously when you start writing your own songs, and you want people to give you credit. So you know, for what it's worth. That's you're talking to someone who makes his living as a writer, so it's very important to give. Oh, don't no spit takes. No.
I'm not.
Okay. What attracted you to this song?
This song, I just loved the meaning behind it, and I loved how it sounded, and her passion that she put into it when she sang it. And so as soon as I heard it, it kind of stuck with me.
All right. Will we have Russ on this one as well?
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, again, this is Josey Milner and Russ Miller. Miller, right?
Yeah.
I'm keeping it straight. And both of these songs that she's performed tonight, you can purchase, download on iTunes and Amazon and a few other places. I'll give you that information at the end. So without further delay, I'm going to mute my microphone and get out of the way. This is Josey Milner singing Dead Flowers.
I feel like flowers in this vase. He just brought them home one day, ain't they beautiful, he said. They've been here in the kitchen and the water's turning gray. They're sitting in a vase, but now they're dead. Dead flowers. I feel like this long string of lights. They lit up our whole house on Christmas Day. But now it's January and the bulbs have all burned out, but still they hang like dead flowers. He ain't feeling anything. My love, my hood, all the standing state. I'm living in a hurricane. All we can say is, man, ain't it such a nice day? Hey. I feel like the tires on this car. You said they won't go far, but we're still rolling. I look in the rear view and I see dead flowers in the yard and that string of lights, and they ain't glowing like dead flowers. Like dead flowers. He ain't feeling anything. My love, my hood, all the standing state. I'm driving through a hurricane. All we can say is, man, ain't it such a nice day? Hey, hey, I guess we'll just go to waste like dead flowers. Like dead flowers. Dead flowers.
Very nice. Thank you, Josey. Thank you, Russ.
Thank you.
I'm not sure, but I think I heard some glass break somewhere in the.
I don't think so. I hope not.
I don't know. Once or twice there near the end, it hit some pretty high notes there. I don't know. I may be.
That's probably one of my favorite songs to sing because of the high notes. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking I may be sending you a bill for some broken glass. I don't know. Clean up on aisle 2 over there, please. All right. And I was thinking while you sang that, I remember years ago being a cub reporter for the local newspaper, and I was sent out to cover a write about this lady who had started a company where she would she sold dead flowers, and what it was that if you're you got dumped by somebody or you were fired, you could actually send out a box of dead
Oh my
flowers.
god!
Swear to God, a company lasted a couple of years, and then it didn't. But I don't know. Hadn't thought about that in years. So thank you. That was a weird.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a weird
Different.
thing. Now, one of the other songs that you've recorded and folks can hear on your website is you covered Patsy Cline song. Walking After Midnight. I'm sure anyone, whether you're a country fan or not, knows this song. So, it's interesting with cover songs. Now, one of the songs you did for us was this last one, Dead Flowers, was Miranda Lambert. And Am I Not Pretty Enough was, most people are not going to know that song, except they're going to, when they hear it, they're going to think of you. But a Patsy Cline song, now that's a little different. Takes a little bit of brass, for a 17-year-old or her management or whomever to think about recording a Patsy Cline song. Tell me a little bit about what went into deciding to do that.
Well, the Patsy Cline song, like you said, is one that everyone knows. And at one point in time, I was just kind of going through a list of traditional country songs. That's the one I kind of, excuse me, the one I came across. And exactly what I thought. Wow, everyone knows this song. And maybe if I add a little twist to it, make it a little bit more modern, people will kind of start falling in love with it again. So that's what I did, and it's doing really well.
Yeah.
So
It's a real nice cover. I mean, it's it sounds very fresh, and if you don't know Patsy Cline, for example, someone in your age group who might not know Patsy Cline, maybe and hears it, they go, "Hey, that's that's really cool. I like that song." So yeah, I could see where the appeal was, but it's a tricky thing when you do a cover of a song that people know. It's like, you're either gonna add something to it that was not expected, or you're going to upset people who are going to be like, well, you shouldn't be doing that, So, good for you. Yeah. So, where do you go from here? Do you have a lot of gigs coming up? Are there, I think there's an EP coming out at some point?
yes, there will be an EP coming out next year, along with my album that I'm kind of picking out songs for. And for right now, the band and I are kind of working out our set list for next year, and about to do fairs, or getting our fair set list together, should I say. And then we actually have a show this weekend. We're doing a benefit concert for a friend of mine who got an ATV accident, so we're doing that for her. We're just going to keep playing out, like I said, doing my album, and just keep loving music and keep doing music.
It's very nice. It's very nice. Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you, and I want to let people know that you can find Josey Milner's music, and it's Milner, Josey Milner, at great online retailers, iTunes, Amazon, etc. Or you can order it right now at a great price right here on Mr. Media. If you're looking at the video, look down under the video, and there's a link there where you can click and you can download some of her singles from there. And then your website is Josey, JoseyMilner, JoseyMilner.com. Are you on Twitter, Facebook?
Yes, I have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Reverb Nation as well.
Okay, so you're pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere.
You, Josey Milner, are the internet.
Yes.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you, and thanks to Russ Miller for playing along with you on guitar there. And I hope we'll get to see you again. This was very nice. Thank you so much for being on Mr. Media today.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Take care of yourself.
You too.
You can see and hear almost 1,000 Mr. Media interviews by visiting our main site, mrmedia.com, mrmedia.com. Or check out the more than 200 video interviews on the Mr. Media radio site on YouTube. And I'd sure appreciate if you'd show some love for Mr. Media's advertisers, including Stitcher. Apple named Stitcher a top 5 news app of 2011. It's a free mobile app for your smartphone or tablet that lets you listen to your favorite shows and discover the best of news, entertainment, and sports on demand. You can listen whenever you want to more than 5,000 shows, get customized recommendations, and discover what your friends are listening to. My own list of Stitcher favorites is pretty eclectic. I start my day with an hour of MSNBC's Morning Joe with Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. Then it's the latest 2-minute update from the Onion News Network. After that, I'll listen to WTF with Mark Maron, Here's the Thing with Alec Baldwin, HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher, and excerpts from E's Chelsea Lately and The Soup with Joel McHale. Also in regular rotation on my Stitcher playlist, the BS Report with ESPN's Bill Simmons, the TechCrunch headlines, and the Don Geronimo Show. The latest episodes of each show, whether originating from broadcasts, cable TV, radio syndication, or podcasts, are continuously updated. Stitcher is a free app for your iPhone, iPad, Kindle, Fire, BlackBerry, Droid, and more. And show your support of Mr. Media by getting, did I mention it's free? The app at Stitcher.com/MrMedia. That's Stitcher.com/MRMedia. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio. We're also supported by Audible. Check out Audible's 30-day trial membership and download the audiobook version of the book everyone's been talking about, 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. Sign up for your free trial today at audible.com/radio. Again, audibletrial.com/radio. And finally, if you need a disc jockey for a wedding, bar mitzvah, corporate event, or just a big old party, please consider calling 1-800-DIAL-DJs, the party authority for all your party entertainment needs. You can call 1-800-DIAL-DJs or go to their website, 1-800-DIAL-DJs.com, and tell them Mr. Media sent you. And thanks for listening.